Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Keith, and welcome to my review of the new film 50 Shades Freed. Yep, just chatting 50 Shades over here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking the time. This is, of course, the third film in the trilogy, which followed 50 Shades of Grey and 50 Shades Darker. Now, they're freed. So in this film, we meet everybody's favorite Dom submissive couple, Christian Grey and his new wife Anastasia, so congrats to them. In this film, we see them embarking on their life, and it's pretty much more of the same. He's over-controlling, overbearing, and she likes to push his buttons. And of course, because it's a 50 Shades movie, there is a lot of sex, there's a lot of bondage, there's a lot of that sort of thing. The thing is, though, is that there wasn't really anything to this film. There was no meat, if you will. And if you're a vegetarian, there was no heartiness to it. So, for example, if you take out the bondage and the sex scenes, which weren't that great to begin with, you're left with very little. And it was just this kind of continual circle of, oh, they're going to go back to the playroom. So, for example, did you just roll your eyes at me? Maybe. Back to the playroom. Did you defy me? Maybe. Back to the playroom. This, I don't necessarily wouldn't put as a thriller, maybe a romance. I thought it was a comedy because it was so cheesy, I was laughing throughout the film. Mind you, I wasn't the only person laughing, but I think maybe that's what this film is for people to laugh and have a good time. I'll say that this movie is a GNO, girls' night out, and a lot of my female friends got together with their friends and went out to see it. None of them have come back to me and said, oh, I really like this movie. So that's somewhat telling. The other thing about this film, though, is the casting. So I don't necessarily have a problem with Dakota Johnson's casting because I think it kind of fits. She's this woman who's finding her confidence. But Jamie Dornan as this billionaire just didn't work for me. When I think of great billionaires on the big screen, of course, Bruce Wayne comes to mind and Tony Stark comes to mind. But aside from superheroes, the ultimate billionaire is Victor Newman. Like, this guy just had it together. This guy doesn't have it together. Just in the sense of it just seems so forced. Oh, do you like that house? Well, I just bought it. Do you like that building? Well, I just bought it. And then the other thing I didn't care for Jamie Dornan's character is the fact that he's usually walking around talking in this dark, brooding voice. It's like, relax, Batman wannabe. So that just didn't work for me. About 3/4 throughout the film, I got a vibration on my wrist, and I looked and my Fitbit was saying, let's go. Now, Fitbit does that when you haven't moved for a while because it wants you to get active. But subliminally, I like to think that Fitbit was telling me, this movie really sucks, let's go. Not a fan of this film. The series, listen, I'm not going to knock E.L. James. While nobody has come to me and said that she likes the books, it's raked in over 125 million copies, and these movies are extremely successful. So kudos to you. But as far as this movie is concerned, there is way too many other films at the box office right now that deserve your time. But the challenge is, you've seen the first two, so you want to see the third. I'd go on a cheap night. Do not go and see this movie in IMAX. I thought that was ridiculous. I didn't. I was like, why is this film in IMAX? This is ridiculous. That is probably the ultimate money grab I've ever seen for a film. Why? Like, an IMAX film was like Dunkirk or something epic. Not the 50 Shades film, with all due respect. Anyways, didn't care for this movie. Had I not needed to go and review this, I probably wouldn't have seen it. I give this movie a D. I have no doubt that it'll be big come award season, Razzie Award season, but definitely a movie that you should pass. If you see this film and you want to talk about it, feel free. CFL_fan on Twitter, Facebook.com/WhittyWhittier and WhittyWhittier.com. Thank you so much for checking this out. My name is Keith, and I'll see you at the movies.